With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The coach, as you know, being over in Orlando, still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
I'm coming. Wait. He's checking crap. Where's he go?
On 1st and 10, Winston. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. First carry for Peyton Barber. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On play action, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Lions will take over. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I got you, boy.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The end result, 21 yards. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Stafford delivers this to Hockenson. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 19.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Let's go.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
I like the performances he's put up throughout the year. That's the reason he's ranked number 9 in the league in receiving yards, in a league that throws the ball.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Shaquille Barrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Second down and goal. Stafford. That's caught by Hollister. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Check. Walk before. Hey, check.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He completes it to Jones. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
A 1st down throw for Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that would help him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Jameis to throw it. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. To throw is Winston. And break. The tight end's got it.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
That's caught by Howard. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll run with Barber. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. Now Winston, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard in the final seconds of the first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. Jacoby Brissett has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll head to Buffalo to check on the Bills at home in New Era Field. And that one all even in their matchup with the visiting Dolphins. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Patrick Mahomes has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 2nd and 9. Stafford, and he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards there, a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Carl Nassib coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Jameis now on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Open man has got it. It's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Winston now finding Godwin complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Lions have recovered.
I know you're looking at the scoreboard clock. We're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. The bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it, a costly turnover. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown and the two-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Now this throw caught left side. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
Let's go.
A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run, as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and 11 now. Winston looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the lock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Winston dancing to his left. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing, Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To the air again with Winston. That's taken in by Callaway. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now Winston. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they're looking at fourth down now in this tie ball game. Gay's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So Stafford and the Lions now down 17-14, a little under a minute 50 remaining. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. He'll look to throw. Caught by Jones. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. It's caught by Treadwell. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. They'll look to throw. Clock still rolling here, 4th down.
Yeah, they got to remember they cannot spike it. 4th down, as you noted.
And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, that would have been something if he could have saved him from that long distance there in the closing seconds, but it was just not meant to be.
They needed a little more time and a little more yardage to give him a realistic shot. And that kick's a good metaphor for this game, isn't it? They're going to wind up a little short in the end.
Barber on 1st and 10. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
That's it, baby.
So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for Tampa Bay, their strong start